For decades, Florence Griffith Joyner, lovingly known as Flo Jo, has stood as a symbol of speed, grace, and unshakable determination. Her record-breaking sprints and unforgettable style, those vibrant outfits and iconic nails, cemented her place in history as the fastest woman alive. But behind the dazzling medals and global fame was a life filled with incredible highs and deeply private struggles. When she passed away suddenly at just 38 years old, the world was left in shock, and questions about her life and her death have lingered ever since. Now, after years of silence, her husband, Al Joyner, has decided to share his truth. For the first time, he's speaking openly about their life together, the challenges they faced, and the lingering mysteries that surrounded her passing. His words paint a picture of a woman far more extraordinary than most ever realized, and shed light on moments the world never saw. This is the story of Florence Griffith Joyner, told by the man who knew her best, and what he reveals might change everything. Early life and background. What does it take to transform a young girl from the tough streets of Watts into one of the most iconic athletes in history? How does a childhood filled with challenges become the foundation for unparalleled greatness? Florence Griffith Joyner, or Flo Jo as the world would come to know her, was born on December 21st, 1959, in Watts, Los Angeles. The neighborhood was as tough as they came. Poverty and violence were constant shadows. But for Florence, these harsh realities weren't roadblocks. They were hurdles to be leapt over, much like the ones she would later face on the track. Florence was one of 11 children in a tight-knit, hard-working family. Her parents worked tirelessly to provide for their children, instilling in them the values of resilience and perseverance. Yet, life was anything but easy. The Griffith family often had to make do with very little, and Florence learned early on to dream big despite her circumstances. As a child, Florence loved to run. She would race her siblings on the streets of Watts, her long legs carrying her effortlessly across the cracked pavement. Even then, there was something extraordinary about her speed. But what truly set her apart wasn't just her talent, it was her determination. While other kids might have played for fun, Florence ran with a purpose that seemed beyond her years. Where did this drive come from? Was it something innate, or was it forged in the desert heat? Every summer, Florence spent time with her grandparents in the Mojave Desert. While most children would shy away from the relentless sun and endless stretches of sand, Florence embraced them. She would run for hours, her small frame cutting through the desert air. It was here, in this unforgiving landscape, that Florence began to build the endurance and strength that would later make her unstoppable. Her mother often recalled how Florence's legs would be covered in dust, her face determined, as she pushed herself to run just a little farther, a little faster. By the time she entered high school, Florence's talent for running was impossible to ignore. At Jordan High School, she dominated the track, leaving her competitors in the dust. Coaches marveled at her natural ability, but they also saw something deeper, a hunger to succeed that went far beyond winning races. Her remarkable performances earned her an athletic scholarship, paving the way for her to attend California State University, Northridge. Rise to fame. Every great athlete has a turning point. What was it that transformed Florence from a promising runner into a global sensation? At California State University, Florence's potential caught the eye of Bob Kersey, a renowned track coach with a reputation for cultivating champions. Bob saw something extraordinary in Florence, a raw, untamed talent that needed refining. When he moved to UCLA, Florence followed, determined to take her skills to the next level under his guidance. Training under Kersey was grueling, but Florence thrived under the pressure. She wasn't afraid of hard work. She embraced it. Kersey pushed her to her limits, demanding precision and discipline in every stride. Florence's natural talent began to evolve into something truly extraordinary. Her moment on the world stage came at the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. Competing in her hometown, Florence had the opportunity to showcase her abilities to the world. The pressure was immense, but Florence thrived on it. In the 200-meter sprint, she ran with a grace and power that left the audience in awe. She crossed the finish line in second place, earning a silver medal. It wasn't gold, but it was enough to make the world sit up and take notice. Florence's performance was electrifying, but it wasn't just her speed that captured attention. What was it about her that made her stand out, even among the fastest athletes in the world? By the mid-1980s, Florence had begun to craft a persona that was as bold and dynamic as her running. She wasn't content to simply win races. She wanted to redefine what it meant to be an athlete. Her fashion choices on the track were groundbreaking. Forget the plain utilitarian outfits most athletes wore. Florence brought glamour and individuality to the sport. Her custom-designed, skin-tight suits were unlike anything the world had seen. One outfit in particular became legendary, a one-legged racing suit that combined functionality with an undeniable sense of drama. It was daring, unconventional, and unapologetically Florence. Her nails, too, became her signature. Long, brightly colored, and intricately designed, they were a bold statement that defied the norms of the track. Critics claimed they would hinder her performance, but Florence proved them wrong. Her nails were not a distraction. They were a declaration of her confidence and individuality. Why did Florence choose to defy conventions so boldly? For Florence, it wasn't just about winning. It was about making a statement. statement. She wanted to show the world that strength and femininity weren't mutually exclusive. She wanted to inspire women to embrace their unique identities, to be unafraid of standing out. The silver medal at the 1984 Olympics was just the beginning. Florence continued to push herself, determined to claim her place among the greatest athletes of all time. She wasn't just running for herself, she was running to leave a legacy. The journey toward greatness. What happens when a talented athlete refuses to settle for second best? What drives someone to keep pushing, even when they've already achieved more than most could dream of? Florence's story didn't end with the 1984 Olympics. She went on to achieve even greater heights, smashing records and setting new standards for excellence in track and field. Her rise to fame was not without challenges, but Florence met every obstacle with the same determination that had carried her through the streets of Watts and the sands of the Mojave Desert. Her journey was a testament to the power of resilience and the belief that greatness is within reach for those who dare to dream big. Florence Griffith Joyner wasn't just an athlete, she was a force of nature, a trailblazer who changed the face of sports forever. Peak career and achievements. Florence Griffith Joyner, famously known as Flo Jo, was not just a sprinter, she was a phenomenon. The world of athletics witnessed a revolution when Flo Jo stepped onto the track, combining unmatched speed, dazzling fashion, and undeniable charisma. Her performances, particularly during the 1988 Seoul Olympics, remain among the most breathtaking moments in sports history. What made Flo Jo so extraordinary? Was it her world record speed, her glamorous style, or the way she shattered expectations? It was during the US Olympic trials in 1988 that Flo Jo first shocked the world. In the 100 meters semifinals, she clocked an astonishing 10.49 seconds, smashing the previous world record. The time was so fast that many spectators thought it must be a mistake, but there was no mistake. This was Flo Jo at her finest. Her record, achieved under legal win conditions, remains untouched decades later, standing as a monument to her brilliance. In Seoul, the world waited eagerly to see if Flo Jo could deliver on the grandest stage. She did not disappoint. In the 100 meters final, she sprinted to a resounding victory, claiming gold with ease. But it was in the 200 meters final that she cemented her status as an all-time great. Her time of 21.34 seconds was another record-breaking feat, one that still stands today. These were not just wins, they were acts of domination. Her competitors could only marvel at her incredible speed and unmatched grace. But Flo Jo's impact wasn't limited to the stopwatch. Her presence on the track was magnetic. She raced in daring, one-legged bodysuits that shimmered under the lights, her long nails meticulously painted and her hair styled to perfection. She wasn't just an athlete, she was a fashion icon, turning the track into her personal runway. The media couldn't get enough of her, and neither could her fans. Beyond her dazzling exterior, Flo Jo was a symbol of empowerment. She challenged the idea that female athletes needed to fit into a specific mold, showing that women could be fierce competitors without sacrificing their individuality. Her unapologetic embrace of femininity inspired countless young girls to pursue their dreams, no matter what obstacles stood in their way. Her triumphs were celebrated across the globe, and she became a cultural icon. Flo Jo wasn't just the fastest woman alive. She was a pioneer who showed that success could be achieved on one's own terms. Controversies and rumors. With all her success, it wasn't long before whispers of doubt began to surface. The world was in awe of her record-breaking performances, but some questioned their legitimacy. Could one woman really shatter so many records so quickly, or was there more to the story? Critics pointed to her dramatic improvement in times over a short period. While Flo Jo had always been a talented sprinter, her sudden leap to the top raised eyebrows. Some wondered if her success was fueled by something beyond natural ability and hard work. At the time, the specter of doping loomed large over athletics. High-profile scandals had rocked the sport, and any exceptional performance was met with suspicion. Flo Jo was no exception. Her muscular physique, unparalleled speed, and dominance on the track made her an easy target for speculation. Despite the rumors, Flo Jo maintained her innocence. She never failed a drug test, a fact that her supporters often highlight. She attributed her success to an intense training regimen, a supportive team, and her unwavering determination. Her husband, Al Joyner, also an Olympic champion, frequently defended her against the allegations. Florence was a once-in-a-lifetime athlete, he said. Her achievements were the result of her talent and dedication, nothing more. But if her record was clean, why did so many refuse to believe her? The skepticism persisted, fueled by Flo Jo's decision to retire in 1989, just 1 year after her Olympic triumphs. At 29, she was still in her prime, and many expected her to continue dominating the sport. Her sudden departure left a void that was quickly filled with speculation. Some claimed she wanted to avoid the more rigorous drug testing protocols that were being introduced, while others suggested she was tired of the scrutiny. Flo Jo, however, had her own reasons for stepping away. She wanted to focus on her family and explore her other passions, including fashion design and community work. For her, life wasn't just about winning medals. It was about living a full and meaningful life. But the rumors followed her even into retirement. Critics remained unconvinced, pointing to the lack of conclusive evidence as merely a technicality. For her family and fans, the accusations were deeply painful. They knew Flo Jo as a woman of integrity, someone who had earned every accolade through sheer determination. Life after athletics. What happens when the fastest woman in the world steps off the track? For Florence Griffith Joyner, better known as Flo Jo, the finish line was just the start of a new race, one filled with love, creativity, and purpose. When she retired from competitive athletics after her historic performance at the 1988 Seoul Olympics, where she shattered records and captured hearts, Florence turned her attention to the life she had always dreamed of beyond sports. Her marriage to Al Joyner, an Olympic triple jump champion, was the cornerstone of her post-athletic life. The couple married in 1987, becoming one of the most celebrated pairs in sports history. Together, they built a home filled with warmth, love, and mutual respect. In 1990, they welcomed their daughter, Mary Ruth Joyner, into the world. Flo Jo often described Mary as her greatest achievement, a source of joy that no medal or record could rival. She embraced motherhood with the same passion and energy that had defined her on the track, pouring her heart into raising Mary with values of kindness, resilience, and confidence. But life after athletics wasn't just about family for Florence. Known for her bold style on the track, think one-legged racing suits and 6-inch painted nails, Flo Jo had always harbored dreams of breaking into the fashion world. With her retirement came the chance to turn that dream into reality. She launched her own clothing line, designing pieces that reflected her vibrant personality and fearless approach to life. Each garment was an extension of her legacy, as bold and unique as the woman herself. Her creative pursuits didn't stop there. Florence also ventured into writing, penning children's books that aimed to inspire young readers with themes of perseverance, self-belief, and the power of dreams. She wanted to show kids that they too could achieve greatness, no matter where they came from. Acting became another outlet for her creativity. While her roles were small, they allowed her to explore new facets of self-expression and artistry. What made Florence truly remarkable, though, was her unwavering commitment to giving back. She dedicated herself to community work, visiting schools, mentoring young athletes, and speaking to audiences about the power of determination. Her message was always clear: success is possible for anyone willing to put in the work. She became a beacon of hope for countless people, proving that the same grit and passion that made her an Olympic legend could inspire lives far beyond the track. Tragic death and legacy. How does a life so full of promise and vitality come to such a sudden, heartbreaking end? That was the question the world asked on September 21st, 1998, when news broke that Florence Griffith Joyner had passed away in her sleep. She was only 38 years old. Her death was attributed to a seizure caused by an undiagnosed congenital brain abnormality. It was a condition no one had known she had, not even Florence herself. The world was stunned. How could someone so healthy, so vibrant, be taken so suddenly? The grief was palpable, felt not only by her family but by fans across the globe who had cheered for her, admired her, and drawn inspiration from her incredible journey. For her husband, Al Joyner, the loss was devastating. He had lost not only his partner in life, but also the woman who had been his greatest source of strength and inspiration. Their daughter, Mary, was just 7 years old at the time, a child robbed of her mother far too soon. The grief they experienced was unimaginable, and it would take years for them to begin to heal. But even in death, Florence's legacy was overshadowed by controversy. Rumors about doping, which had plagued her during her career, resurfaced almost immediately. Despite never failing a single drug test and maintaining her innocence throughout her life, skeptics used her untimely death to reignite suspicions. The whispers were relentless, casting a shadow over her incredible achievements and causing further pain for her grieving family. And yet, her legacy persisted. Around the world, tributes poured in. Scholarships were established in her name, honoring her commitment to education and youth empowerment. Stadiums and events were renamed to celebrate her contributions to athletics. To this day, her world records in the 100-meter and 200-meter sprints remain unbroken, a testament to her extraordinary talent and hard work. Florence Griffith Joyner's story is more than one of athletic greatness. It's a story of resilience, creativity, and the pursuit of dreams. Even in the face of tragedy, her impact endures, inspiring countless people to chase their own goals with the same passion and determination that defined her life. Al Joyner's revelations. What was life like for the woman behind the legend? In the years following Florence's death, Al Joyner has shared intimate glimpses into the person she was, beyond the medals, beyond the records, beyond the fame. Through his words, we've come to understand the depth of her dedication, the weight of her struggles, and the beauty of her spirit. According to Al, Florence's achievements weren't just the result of raw talent. They were the product of relentless hard work. She was the kind of person who woke up before sunrise to train, pushing herself to the limit every single day. She didn't believe in shortcuts. Everything she accomplished was earned through sweat, sacrifice, and an unshakable belief in her own potential. But behind her dazzling smile and trailblazing confidence, Florence carried a heavy burden. Al has spoken candidly about the emotional toll of the scrutiny she faced throughout her career. The rumors of doping, though baseless, hurt her deeply. She knew her success was a testament testament to her work ethic, yet she often felt the sting of doubt from those who couldn't accept her achievements at face value. She was human, Al has said, emphasizing that Florence wasn't immune to the pressures and criticisms that came with being in the spotlight. But she never let those doubts define her. Instead, she chose to rise above, using the negativity as fuel to drive her forward. After her death, Al became a fierce defender of Florence's legacy. He has worked tirelessly to dispel the myths surrounding her career, emphasizing that her untimely passing was due to a congenital condition, not foul play or doping. He has made it his mission to ensure that the world remembers Florence for who she truly was: a gifted athlete, a devoted mother, and an extraordinary woman. Today, Al continues to honor her memory by sharing her story with young athletes and communities around the world. He wants future generations to know that success isn't just about talent, it's about perseverance, integrity, and heart. A legacy that endures. Despite the controversies, Florence Griffith Joyner's legacy remains untarnished in the eyes of those who truly understand her impact. Her records, set over 3 decades ago, still stand as a testament to her greatness. No other female sprinter has come close to matching her times, a fact that underscores the magnitude of her achievements. Why do her records still stand? Perhaps because Flo Jo wasn't just racing others, she was racing time itself. Flo Jo's influence extends far beyond athletics. She broke barriers, not just on the track, but in society. She proved that women could excel in male-dominated fields without compromising their identity. She became a role model for athletes, artists, and dreamers everywhere. In the years since her passing in 1998, Flo Jo's story has continued to inspire. Her records, her style, and her spirit are celebrated by new generations. Her husband, Al Joyner, and her daughter, Mary Joyner, have worked to preserve her legacy, reminding the world of the incredible woman she was. How do you measure a legacy? Is it in medals and records, or the lives you touch along the way? Florence Griffith Joyner wasn't just the fastest woman alive. She was a trailblazer who redefined what it meant to be an athlete, a woman, and a champion. She taught us that greatness isn't just about breaking records, it's about breaking barriers, inspiring others, and leaving a legacy that transcends time. Her story is one of resilience, individuality, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. And while the whispers of doubt may never completely fade, they are drowned out by the resounding echoes of her triumphs. Flo Jo's light continues to shine, reminding us that legends are forever. What do you think about Al Joyner's revelations? Do you believe there's more to Flo Jo's story than we've uncovered so far? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. And if you found this story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into stories like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.